Hi, my name is Jeff, and welcome to another one of my videos where I give you the opportunity to test your comic book grading skills up against actual concrete results from CGC. Now, this is the second one of these videos that I have made. If you have not seen the first video, I recommend watching that video first. I'll put the link to it somewhere up there. Not only do I think that that first video is educational and informative and will put you a little bit in my similar headspace where I was as far as my grading at first and how I might have adjusted for this video, but I have to say that first video was also pretty entertaining, kind of in a tragic way, because my unboxing from CGC, oh man, you have to see it to believe it. So I definitely recommend checking out that video. And for those that have already seen that video, I want to let you know I will be making a follow-up video talking about my customer service experience with CGC when it's all said and done. The books are back at CGC right now. It's been about a month. I'm still waiting for them to send them back. I'm also waiting to get some more information about it. So that video is forthcoming. But for now, let's focus on this video. In this video, we're getting 4 books back from CGC. And all of these books went through CGC Signature Series special events that they've been having this summer, and they've been having a lot of them. But these books came from 2 events in particular. 3 of the books were signed by Chris Claremont and are X-Men books, X-Men 134, X-Men 141, and X-Men 142. Yes, if you've seen the first video, and if you haven't, now you know, I am an X-Men fan. So yes, I have those 3 books that came back, Yellow Label, Signature Series, signed by Chris Claremont. The 4th book is something I'm really excited about, signed by Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman. It is Venom, number 3, the 3rd print. Excited about that book. Can't wait to see what the grade is on that. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at some videos that I made of the books when they were raw months ago, before I sent them to CGC. And we're going to assess them for any kind of flaws, damage, things that might be fixed by a press, things that might be fixed by a clean and maybe not. And we will assign a grade to them. I will assign my grade, you assign your grade as well. And then after we've gone through that process, we will do our unboxing from CGC, and we will look at the grades we got from them and make a comparison. Okay, so now let's take a look at those books. First up, we have X-Men number 134. Now, in general, this book looks really pretty great. It's got some issues, though. It has a little bit indentation right there and right there. I think the press is going to fix that. There's a little bit of a spine-breaking thing in the corner there. The press will help it, but not fix it. The rest of this spine looks really pretty great, though. Very happy with that. The top edge looks great. The colors are bright. It's really glossy. Now, there is some chipping along the edge of the front cover here. That I'll get dinged for. But some of the little flaws and lifts and indentations that you're seeing, I believe all of those are going to get fixed with the press. On the back here, this looks really great, except for that big old thumbprint that we go straight in on there. I'm really hoping the clean will get rid of that, because the rest of this looks really good. The white sections are really white. Now, in this corner here, you're going to see it looks like it got a little stress impact there. Maybe the press is going to fix that. That'll be a nice little test to take a look at. Other than that, the back of this book looks really, really great. I'm going to call it a 9.4, maybe a 9.2. Next up, we have X-Men number 141. Now, there's a little ding maybe there in the corner. We'll see that on the way back. The rest of this spine looks really pretty great. Maybe a little stresses in there. That corner is a little bit sad, but I see newer books that have worse damage in the corner than that. But the spine looks pretty good. Yeah, that corner may have a little bit of something problematic to it. But in general, the rest of it, the edges look great. Some of those indentations you might be noticing, I think will get fixed in the press. The corners and edges are good. It's nice and glossy. The colors look great. Looks pretty good to me. The back of this book is similar. The whites look really pretty great there. The edges are good. The corners are good. I really am not seeing much of any kind of problems. Maybe a little bit of that black speckling that I mentioned before. Yeah, a little bit right there. Maybe that'll clean up. We'll see later on. I'm going to call this one also a 9.4. Next up, we have X-Men number 142. Now, this book we're going to be looking at a little bit more slowly because I have more that I want to say about this book than the previous books. First off, you're going to see a little bit of a color-breaking spine tick right there. That'll be a minor ding. You see lots of spine stresses there. I think those are going to be fixed in the press. What's interesting to me about this book is the black speckling on this book. You see it on the edge of the book there through the UPC box and through Wolverine's leg. We'll talk about that more in just a moment. In the meantime, we have some minor color-breaking spine ticks all along the spine there. They're minor, but there is an accumulation of them. I do think I will end up being dinged for them. Otherwise, the colors look great, really glossy on this cover. More of that black speckling there in that green section right there. But once again, some indentations. That'll get fixed with the press. So the black speckling that's present on this book, it's going to be a really interesting test for me to see if the cleaning process of the cleaning in the press removes a lot of that speckling. You'll see here on the back, there's a decent amount of it. And in the white here, we'll be able to see if the cleaning removed it. Now, I am going to make a video, I think, a future video, where I take this video that you're looking at right now with all the speckling and compare it against what the book looks like after coming back from CGC. And we're going to see how great of a job, or not, they did at removing all of this black speckling. But right now there's so much of it, I'm going to call it all a ding and hopefully be pleasantly surprised when it comes back looking beautiful. Now, an interesting thing about this book is that the front cover wraps around to the back here a little bit. You see that black line around the edge. There are a decent amount of color breaks in that black line from the front cover. Now, it's on the back, so it's not as significant, but it is present, so I'm going to call them dings that are going to hurt the grade. Other than that, it's a shiny, glossy back cover. The colors look great. You know what? I'm going to call this book a 9.2. I'm going to say that maybe it's a 9.0. And finally, we have the star of the show, Venom number 3, third print. This book looks really great. There's maybe a little bit of an indentation right there above that guy's head. The press should take that right out. Other than that, the front of this book looks 100% perfect to me. It just looks great. To me, the rest of the front of this cover is the definition of perfect. I'm really happy with the front of this book. Similarly, I'm happy with the back of the book. The corner looks great. The edges looks great. I mean, I got the press done just to fix that one indentation to protect the grade. Now, there is something that's about to come up that I didn't notice when I first looked at the book, but I noticed it in this video. We're slowing down through this section. Right there at the top of that green box, it looks like there's like ink from the printing, maybe like a line of ink coming from the edge of the book. I don't know if that's actual flaw or if that's just something that I'm seeing right now and panicking a little bit about. I'm hoping it won't be a big deal. I'm going to call this a 9.8. Okay. So now you've had your opportunity to take a look at the books raw, how they were several months ago before I sent them out to CGC. You're able to assess the grade for yourself, and now we are going to do the exciting part, and we are going to open up the box that we got from CGC and compare the grades that we've determined based off the raw books against the grades we got from CGC. As always, I had to struggle not to look up these grades beforehand, so I have no foreknowledge of what the grades are in this book. Two things I want to say quickly about CGC in general and this shipment is that I contacted them, and because I had a few different submissions at CGC on different tracks, and I asked them if I could combine them to save my money a little bit on shipping. And they told me, no, sorry, we cannot combine them. They're on their own tracks. They have to be sent separately. Then, on their own, they went ahead and decided to send my books from the Kate Stegman signing along with the ones from the Claremont signing. It's fine, it saved me a few bucks, but it was weird because I specifically asked them, they told me it can't be done. So let's get into it. This is, I can already tell, packed a little bit better than the last one was. I was concerned about this shipment because part part of my theory about the problem with the last shipment and the damage I got was because there was too much extra space in the box. This looks much more secure. Can't really move at all in there. And there's more than one piece of bubble wrap in here. So maybe they learned something. Okay, so I see what's on the top there is an X-Men book. I did not see the grade, but I am going to, without looking inside the box, flip it over so that I'm looking at the back of the books. This is the back of the books. Yes. Okay, great. So, yes, like I said previously, on the first shipment, they sent it with just one piece of bubble wrap wrapped around it. This time, there is more bubble wrap, and it's way more secure. So that is encouraging to start with. Okay, let's get into it. The first one is, oh boy, I thought this is what was going to happen. The first one is Venom, number 3, the third print. Let's take off the bag. This is the one I'm most excited about because this one is definitely the most valuable. I'm going to hide the grade. I'm going to show it to you first. And I got a 9/8. Wow. Wow. And they did what I asked them to do, which they signed in silver ink, which is great. And they signed up here. Sometimes Donny Cates signs and he just kind of scribbles wherever he wants to. I wanted them not to put it on top of this great art. This is super awesome. This book is worth about $1,100 at a 9.8 sign. I bought this book for $50 and paid an extra $110 for the grading, pressing, and signature and signatures. And that is quite a return on my investment. Awesome. I got all the special labels for all of these books, so you'll get to see those. So there is that. Wow. And not damaged. I'm going straight to that first corner. That's amazing. Okay, so I'm going to enjoy that a little bit later. Let's focus on the task at hand, which is the grades. So we were right about the grade, at least I was. Maybe you were as well. Maybe you thought that that thing on the back was going to ding us. It looks like, I still don't know what it is. It looks fine to me. I think it might be part of the image. So it looks like it was just a perfect book that got a perfect grade. I was kind of hoping it might get a 9.9, but that's just greedy. I am super stoked about this. That's awesome. The next book we are looking at is X-Men number 142, I believe. I'm trying to get from the information on the back. Oh, no, wait, this is 134. This is 134. It says Phoenix becomes Dark Phoenix. So that would be 134. This one, oh shoot, I forgot my notes. 134, I think I said was supposed to be a 9.4, possibly a 9.2. So there is the book. Let us see what grade we got. We got a 9.4. So this is perfectly in line with what I had anticipated for this. Frankly, I had hoped for a little bit better than the 9.4, but I am not upset with the 9.4 because it is in line with my grading guess. So I'm fine with that. Mr. Claremont signed in blue ink. I assume he probably signed them all in the same. It looks good to me. And I'm sure these are all going to be off-white to white pages. By the way, of course, Venom was white pages. I'm sure these are going to be off-white to white because a lot of them are from the same collection that I bought them from the previous one, and all those were off-white to white as well. Next, I'm going to assume is X-Men number 141, the first part of Days of Future Past. Now, I had also said that this was going to be a 9.4. Let us see Like, so I'm 2 for 2 on grades so far, so I mean, I'm improving or something. So let's see if we get a 9.4 on this one as well. And it is a 9.6. This is a good one to have in a 9.6 because this is not as valuable as 134 is, but it's this cover is iconic. I'm sure this cover's been homaged several times. I'm definitely happy with the 9.6 on this. The other one, this one I thought was was going to be a 9.4 and possibly a 9.2. So I was open to the fact that it might be a lower grade. This one I had it just a solid 9.4 and I got the 9.6. So that is really super. And he signed in silver ink. He signed in a different color ink for this one. That is an interesting thing that he chose to do. But I am not so mad. This is great. This is great. So 9.6, a little bit better. You know, something that I didn't mention previously, that I mentioned in my previous video, is that in general, I prefer to be a little harsher on my grades, a little tougher. Doing that will protect yourself from, one, disappointment, which is real, potentially. And also, when you're figuring out what books to get graded, you're going to think to yourself, okay, I've put this much into the book, it's going to cost this much to get clean pressed, graded, and when it's done, it's going to be worth this amount. You want to make sure, ideally, that that final amount is greater than the sum of all of the parts that led up to it. And if you're conservative on the grade, then you know you protect yourself from getting a lower grade than you expected and potentially losing money on the process. So, like I said, I like to be a little bit harsher than a little bit too generous. Finally, we have the second part of Days of Future Past. This was X-Men 142. This is the one that I thought was going to get the lowest grade of the bunch. I said that I thought it was going to be somewhere between probably 9.2, possibly a 9.0. So let us take a look at this. You're the first to see it. And I'm going to just lose this box, because why not? And let's see what the grade is. 9.6. That's awesome. That is awesome. I love that so much for two reasons. One, it's way better than I anticipated. All of those black speckles, I'm looking at them. Like I said, we're going to do a video on this where I'll show you. I mean, it looks like they may have gotten them. And that might have saved this book massively. But even more than getting the better grade, I am super stoked that I have matching grades on this book. That is a huge plus. Because these books, I got, you know, this one's not as valuable or sought after as this one is, but they belong together. And now, being the same grade, the same label, Chris signed them in different colors, but you know what? That's okay. I'm okay with that. The fact that they're both the same grade at a 9.6, that's really great. I was hoping that they would match in grade, and they did. Wow. And yes, they are. Oh, wait, this one got white pages. This one got the off-white pages that I expected. This one came from an eBay seller, by the way. This was the one of the X-Men books that came from a different seller. This one came back with white pages to boot. So I guess they don't match perfectly, but you know what? I'm okay with that. Now, a lot of you out there be like, nah, you're going to have to find a 9.6 white pages signed by Chris Claremont now. I don't think so. I'm going to take these white pages and be happy about it. Wow. Okay, great. Yeah, we got some Newton rings on this one, but you know what? That's CGC. Yeah, doesn't look like there's any damage to the cases. The cases look pretty scratch-free. Wow, so this was a pretty successful unboxing as far as I was concerned with the grades. I got 2 of my grades exactly correct as I had expected. It's interesting to me that this 134 came back a 9.4, considering these came back 9.6s. I actually thought that 9.4 was pretty clean. But we'll do a post-mortem on these and we'll take a look and we'll try to figure out if we can get into CGC's head. But this is awesome. And so I was off on these, but once again, I'd rather be off too low than too high. But just to get back to something pretty awesome, this is great. This is great. I'm super excited about this. This book, when I sent it off, like I said, I bought it for $50. It just increased and increased and increased in value as it sat at CGC. So very happy about this. Wow. So thank you all so much for watching my video. If you liked this video, please, I encourage you to like and subscribe. I have more books at CGC that are coming. I have my customer service experience video that I'm going to be making. I may be putting out other kind of incidental type videos here and there, so I hope to be putting out more content. I also might be doing a 25 book minimum submission for pre-screening. I may choose 25 plus books that I have and try to get a 9.8 pre-screen. So that's something that may happen in the next few months. But once again, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope it was informative. I'm learning something each time, and I'm going to continue to learn, and I invite you to come along for the learning process with me. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next video.